and we created that shenanigans list, and we tried to shut that shit down, and then the riot cops escorted me off the off the Walmart property. Y'all know that story. Where's Diction, man? The whole world wants Diction. We got like 10 minutes left. They're all chanting, Diction, Diction, Diction. But no, he's not coming, man. That's cool. Whatever. Let's see what the heck is left with these headlines. Because they're, oh my God, dude. Yeah. Hey, perfect, man. Perfect. Oh, shit. You got that?
Yeah, what up?
Yo, is that the black cherry bang?
It's the fucking cherry blade lemonade.
Bro, yeah. Cherry Blade Lemonade. Yo, if I didn't already have a rap name, man, and I was just chilling, I might take that one, right? Yo, it's Cherry Blade Lemonade.
That shit is kind of dope, man.
Right? My other one is boneless pork top sirloin chop. What
Man,
are you doing?
I found a flavor that I'd never seen before at the one on Powell and 71st at the 7-Eleven. It's a key lime pie. That shit was fucking dope. I've never seen it anywhere else though.
Man, I haven't had an energy drink in days, man. I've been posted up with Karen, and she makes me treat myself a little better than I normally do. But at some point today, I'm gonna sneak away, and I'm gonna get an energy drink. Now I know what the dude in Misery felt like. Man, he was like, I just want to go get an energy drink, and she broke his ankles and was like, no energy drink for you. But yeah, I do got some good coffee with some good creamer. Yo, people are loving you, G. You know people love you, man, on this show. Diction, Diction, Diction.
Yo, what up, people?
Diction, yeah. Diction. Diction, yeah. All right. So, man, you dropped the project on Halloween. We had that shit. We had that shit on our show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We'll probably bring it up tomorrow. Look, I stole this little thing from.
I saw you post that the other day. That shit's dope.
Man, we were having fun the other day on your video. Because it was the Halloween, right? So we were just, hey, Beth, good morning. Oh, my dear, sweet friend Beth, the water ninja. Hello, love. Man, me and Beth used to go hard for the water. Nobody knew as much as me and Beth and Scott Fernandez and Floyd, kind of. Yo, those were the old days, the Portland Water Wars.
I remember the water thing. I went and got some people to sign the thing or whatever the fuck.
Man. Yeah. So those water wars that we were talking about, we literally crafted the future. Like, it sucks because we won some, we lost some, right? Like, okay, there's no condos on Mount Tabor right now. So we won that battle. We actually saved the reservoirs, but we lost the open air battle. And then we lost the new construction battle. So that still affected our rates. And then we won the fluoride battle. So, and then we won the battle against the private organization that wanted to privatize the Water Bureau. So he beat those guys too. We did pretty good. So yeah, Beth, I love you. That was great to see you this morning. Okay, Diction, tell me, how's the project going?
It's going really well. I got that album that first single came off of is about halfway mixed. I'm still meeting with Zone to finish mixing and mastering on that record. So yeah, it's due out on May 1st. And I'll definitely have some more singles and videos coming in the upcoming months here pretty soon.
Yo, G, I just learned how to do this right here.
Oh shit!
I just moved you to the big screen and me to the little screen.
Damn, yeah, that shit's dope. I haven't been on in a minute. You got all kinds of technological shit popping off now. I like the new logo there.
Oh man, Maxwell Edison laced us with the proper logos, man. That
shit is dope, man.
Yo, wait till you see he's working on another one for those recipe videos. I got those eat 'em videos. Eat 'em. Oh man, he's got real popular or real potent stuff going on. Okay, so you dropped the video. It's cracking. Sorry, I interrupted because I was so happy.
No, man, it's all good.
Okay, where can they find your video right now?
If you go to YouTube, everything you can find me pretty easily. Everything is just Diction Uno, whether it's my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook page. DictionUno.com will go up pretty soon. I've been trying to get that done as far as construction goes, but you can find the video on YouTube. Any other music platform, the song is on, Spotify, Tidal, Apple, Deezer, whatever, you listen to. It's on all platforms.
Is it just one word, Diction Uno, or do you have one of those fake underline, those underscore things between your shit?
It should just be one word, but I mean, honestly, this will sound hella cocky. You could just Google me at this point, realistically.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking
I'm pretty
about.
decent on the search, but yeah, it should be just one word, or I think even if you space it out, it'll come up. If you just search Dictionary and then Demon Fight in YouTube, it'll come up there. As far as the video goes.
Let me bring up. There's one thing I want to bring up before we take off today. So China's U2 rover, got some new photos from the back side of the moon, man. And I don't want to
Oh shit.
Holy crap, that's what the moon looks like.
No wonder you think that shit is fake. That shit looked hella fake.
Right? Come on, give us some better. Yo, this should be. Are we in? Do we have it up?
I don't know. I've been reading it so much Neville Goddard lately. I'm like, fuck. All of us are just one thing or whatever. Like this fucking hella good. You start thinking like, yo, this whole shit is just fake anyway.
Yo, G, last night, like midnight, I popped in. Last night I popped in some Neville Goddard, and he was talking about how there's no such thing as fiction. That for anybody to have ever imagined some scenario playing out in any kind of way means that in an infinite reality, it is happening somewhere, and you're able to just tap into the ether to even come up with that idea, which was crazy because that was the cherry on top of me spending all day realizing that I really do live in a cartoon, and that's why I'm able to just Pink Panther around, Like,
I mean, even scientists at this point, when they talk about the simulation a lot, you're like, yo, this is just exactly what Neville Goddard would tell you the Bible is saying. You know what I mean?
what do you mean?
It's crazy, but lately I was studying a lot of stuff, but lately I've just been strictly on Neville. Like, for whatever reason, he's resonating the most with me. I think some of it is that, like, okay, not to be an asshole to Abraham Hicks or Esther Hicks, because I think she's a great lady and everything, but like, she asks you for a lot of money, you know what I mean, to go listen to her talk. And then, but then look at Neville Goddard. Like, one thing that tripped me out. So I found this video. There's this old dude who used to own an Arthur Murray dance studio, but he has a signed copy of Neville Goddard shit, and his grandson posted a picture or a video rather of him talking about his experiences actually going to meet Neville Goddard, and like he thought it was all bullshit, and then it worked for him. And one of the things that stood out to me the most is like the first thing Neville said to everybody was like, you can't give me money even if you want to. Because he's like, and he goes, because I don't care about it anyway. But he's like, anybody who's teaching you this shit that's asking for a bunch of money, like, why wouldn't they just manifest the money themselves? And I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy. And there's a lot of things with him like that where you're like, man, he just really seemed like he really walked the talk on the shit a lot more than a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that really resonates with me. Like, which is crazy because I've never been a person who grew up in church or was into the Bible, and I'm not trying to like say anything negative if you interpret it the more traditional way, whatever floats your boat. But it's stuff like that where you're like, damn, that's gangster as fuck. I'm not even mad at people who get money for this stuff, but man, that just sounds a lot more like somebody who really knows that this shit works, right? When they're like, yo, I don't want your fucking money. I could just fucking pull it out of the fucking ether if I wanted to. And you're like, well, damn, why don't those other motherfuckers just do that shit? It's like $3,000 to go see you fucking tell me to get my feelings vibrating, right? Like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, but they make you a cartoon, though.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
not to say anything bad about like, Esther Hicks or whatever. I mean, people got to make a living. I'm not going to hate on that. I mean, I read that one book I read of hers that it's the only book I purchased hers and read. It has a really great thing at the end that shows you different exercises for like finding out where your vibration is and raising or lowering that through the exercises. I think that calibrating your energy is useful regardless if you're using it to manifest or whatever. But definitely the more I get into Neville, the more I'm just like, yo, this fool really walked his talk. And he was really on some shit. I don't know. It just super resonates with me, especially lately.
I feel like after a couple of videos of Esther Hicks that you kind of just get what it's about, right? Stay in the vortex, stay in the flow, maintain it, and don't desire, because that puts you on the wrong side of the teeter-totter, right? If you're talking about what you don't have,
Right.
you're talking about what
And
you
that
don't
part I
have,
think is true, is the focusing on the absence of it, but probably where I also don't agree with her on some things. And it's not to say that there's not a lot of valuable information in her stuff. If nothing else, she'll get you in a good mood. But it's the Abraham through her or whatever will say, if you go to sleep, you're not manifested anymore. And I'm like, I don't know. That seems bullshit to me, because Neville Goddard and Vadim Zealand from Reality Transfer will be like, nah, the best time to manifest is like right before you go to sleep in that hypnagogic state, which means, damn, a lot of that's taking place really in your sleep is the most powerful time. And
yeah,
then,
dude, that's where all the factory upgrades and the software upgrades, that's where everything goes when you get to put all your energy that you would normally extend here, just put this on standby and just do all your cleanup, man. Just like,
well, plus it's like you can access the subconscious, the most in that hypnagogic state right before sleep and right when you first wake up. But Vadim Zealand takes it even further. In reality transurfing, the Nebulin, where he's like, yo, this whole shit's a dream even when you awaken. So he like recommends learning lucid dreaming. That it's very important, because once you learn how to control the dream, then basically you can control the waking dream easier. So, I mean, again, like everybody's got some valuable stuff. I don't want to completely shit on that in particular, but she's just the easiest example of where I'm like, that's cool, but I don't know. Neville's like, hey, I don't even want your money, because I already know how to do this stuff. And I'm for real about it. Um, Man, he's just interesting too. One thing I've been really considering from him is largely why his shit was so effective too is because he was an actor. But he was actually a skilled actor. Like, he made a living. Like, he wasn't like super famous on movies or nothing, but like he was making a good living as an actor prior to leaving it to go and speak about things. And so there's some people that propose this idea of studying the Slavansky method, which is like one of the most famous like schools of like learning method acting. But imagine if you learned that and then
oh,
took
bro,
that in and applied it to your like, your visualizations for manifesting your reality. I mean, then you would really be able to feel it and all that. So I took an acting class once, like PCC. I'm familiar with it to a degree, but I'm like, yo, maybe I need to really dive deep into that again and apply that to, the visualizations and all that. You know what I mean?
I just listened to that video, or that lecture, I mean, like a month ago. Um, this is all just an act. This is all just a play. Like, you just
That's what I'm
act
saying.
like the kind of person that you want to be, right? Like, say there's a piece of litter on the ground. You're faced with an infinite number of solutions or resolutions that you could do with that piece of litter, right? You could walk by it, you could pick it up, you could kick it, you could shove it up your butt, you could eat it, right? Like, you could give it as a gift. All of those have already been done by somebody else.
Mhm.
So you're just repeating some shit that's already happened, right? You're just going, okay, I
Right.
choose this option. Nothing we are doing is ever like done before. We're literally just running these obstacle courses and just trying to get the best time. I was explaining to Karen last night, I reincarnate a bunch and I just know it, right? Because
Right.
while I'm Jesse Sponberg right now, I'm also the guy from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I'm also Mario from Donkey Kong. I'm also that little frog. I'm also the guy from Metal Gear. I'm also Link in Legend of Zelda. I'm also the dude from Castlevania. Jesse Sponberg is just one of them, right? And I was telling Karen last night, I was like, they really messed up when they let me reincarnate as Jesse Sponberg because because that's like a really hard level, right? Like being me is hard, man. Like being me is hard, but that's because it's a crazy level up. Like people are gonna really trip out when they just see me levitate down the goddamn street. And it's like whatever. And I know you're on that same shit. That's why I can have a conversation like this with you, because it's like, all right, man, you got through this level, but can you do diction? Can you be diction?
I feel that a lot because I was getting way too much into forcing things. Like I probably talked about it last time. Like I became so obsessed with like the dopamine in your brain and whatever, and all that shit's useful. But like I was at the point where it's like quit eating food because you can't concentrate enough. Like going on some really crazy extreme levels. And it was cool. I got some benefits out of it, but the more I've been resonating with this Neville stuff, man, I kind of stripped everything away. I've been diving deep into that because I'm like, man, I really do believe that the metaphysical level is probably the most important one. And then things have been clicking more since I've been like, okay, I'm going to stop obsessing and trying to be productive every waking second of the day. Yes, it's good. Like there's good things to that. But to realize that like, okay, what are you doing on the metaphysical level? And instead of studying 8, 9 people, like, okay, which one are you resonating with the most right now? And just rock with that heavy. So I feel you, like definitely.
That's what I do with superheroes, right? I just pick one. I just pick one that I'm identifying with and just use that as my totem. Whoa. And that's how you could tell I was in the office. I just accidentally triggered the office chair.
Oh shit.
You know, that was like when I was working my way towards sobriety, I would find these athletes that had a jersey number that matched up with that day of sobriety. And then I would just make each one of those athletes the champion of that day, right? And be like, all right, well, tomorrow's day 40. Oh, that's Sean Kemp day, right? So I'd be like, okay, it's me and Sean Kemp getting through my sobriety this day, and I ain't gonna drop the ball on Sean Kemp. That dude's work ethic, right? I gotta match him. But you can do that with anybody. You could do that with your favorite G.I. Joe character. You could do that with your favorite cartoon character. Because here's the thing: I've probably been you before. And you've probably been me before, right? Because there's no real connection between these avatars and our true souls, right? As we're simultaneously existing in multiple incarnations, right? It's not linear. It's not a linear incarnation. It's not like reincarnation, like one, then the next one, then the next one.
Well, you make a great point too, because a lot of will argue that we're like, even Elon Musk argues this, that we're all connected on a subconscious level. I mean, even Napoleon Hill talks about how you can pull thoughts from the ether because we're all connected on that level or whatever. You know, like you were talking about, like, yeah, we probably all been these different things, because Neville would say, like, right, that all states of consciousness are permanent states of consciousness, and we simply just move between different ones, right? Man, there was you would trip out on this. I forget the dude's name. It's like Israel something, but he was like this dude who rocked real heavy with Aleister Crowley when he was alive. And he went to a Neville lecture and wrote what he thought about it. And one of the things that it reminded me of is he was talking about how, like, look, he was like, yo, this dude's on some real shit. He's like, this might be the most effective magic ever. But he's like, most of the people who follow him won't be able to do it, because he was like, he's an actor. And then he goes, that's key to his shit, because he can really assume a state because he's such a talented actor. And he was a dancer. And he said how that was like really key, because he's like, yo, he understands how to move into the shit. I forget the name of it. I'd have to find it. I want to say it might have been Brian Scott that had it, but it might have been Joseph Rodriguez, which I know you fuck with him heavy too, like I do, that brought it up. And the guy's really interesting. He wrote some really interesting shit in his own right, but he was really well known for his, like, yeah, I forget what the title they even have. It wasn't Apprentice, but something where like he worked with Crowley pretty closely. And I mean, even though Crowley's a real, controversial figure, even though Crowley's a really, controversial figure for many reasons. I mean, I wouldn't agree with everything the guy did. I mean, but who could agree with most of what anybody did? But the dude was like, he was a really great magician, regardless of if you agree why he did what he did. the dude was a powerful magician. I think that's undoubted. So this cat and his take on it was really interesting, but that got me thinking again about like, yo, maybe get into acting more, but like not because I give a fuck about being an actor so much as because I want to be able to assume states of consciousness more naturally and in depth. You know what I mean?
Bro, you don't have to go
Man,
to
I'll have to
acting
find that
school.
piece somewhere and send you it because you would have bugged out on it.
I just go WWJD, right? Like, what would Jesus do? But replace Jesus for anybody, and then just
Right.
assume that mentality, man. You know, my favorite is to just use a Disney movie. Just use a Disney movie, man.
Yo,
Like,
that's a really good one. I like the
Robin
Marvel
Hood right
movies kind of
now.
for that level of shit too. Like that's a good point. I mean, Napoleon Hill gets me thinking a lot about that, right? Because okay, he talks about having the mastermind, but then one of the most controversial things is when he gets to that final chapter and he's like, "Hey, I'm not crazy and shit, but I hold these meetings with like all these motherfuckers I look up to, but they're not really there. And then I just pretend that they're really there and I'm like, yo, this is brilliant." And so he talks a lot in that book about that. So I had done that. And there's like people like the RZA's book or like Bruce Lee's book, Striking Thoughts, I was reading, where yeah, I would have been interested in reading that previously, but I really went into it because I'm like, yo, these are people I'm putting on my council, right? To have the little meetings with and whatever. That he talks about in the book. So, like, yeah, I agree. I mean, that book, you know, Think or Grow Rich or whatever, that really got me on that thinking, like, okay, shit. Well, if I look up to so and so, like Jay Prince was an example. Okay, then I listened to his. I'm like, I got to listen to his book Respect to even find out like what he'd be like to even hold a meeting with him, right? And in the council, because it could be anyone living or dead, or to like assume some of the qualities that you admired. And then the dope thing is when you start going down that rabbit hole, because you're on that and what you're talking about, like you end up picking up all kinds of gems, of course, that you wouldn't even think you'd come across because you're like, well, oh shit. Obviously, these people are fucking prolific, or you wouldn't have picked them. And then you end up picking up all these other gems that like it wasn't even the point necessarily why you were studying it, but you're like, oh shit. Okay, well, I learned all kinds of fucking dope ass shit from them, you know?
You know, I used to always remind people when I was running for office or when I was in a political arena, none of my role models are politicians, right? Like I don't look up to George Bush or I don't look up to John F. Kennedy or
Yeah,
Abraham.
nobody on my council was a politician either at
Hey,
all.
but I will.
Napoleon Hill had like Abraham Lincoln and people like that. I'm like, goddamn Napoleon, I love you, but you corny for that.
No, but I will throw some Attila the Hun in there. I might think,
Of course you
what would Alexander the Great do as I was on my way to go consult the Oracle, get my cards flipped, right? Like what would these accomplished people, these people that left world legacies, right? Because here's the thing, man. If you aren't trying to get the highest score for whatever character you picked, right? This is like
right.
Street Fighter, bro. This is you picked freaking Ryu. I picked Blanca.
Oh man, I love that fucking analogy, man. That's brilliant.
So I'm trying to get the highest score ever as Blanca, ever. Like other people have probably been Jesse Stromberg through these histories and times and these flashbacks and these deja vus. Who knows? But these two hands, well, my hands I'm pretty attached to, but like just the physical thing, you know, we custom that, man, just like you custom a basketball player for NBA Live, or you know, you create your own car for a racing game, right? You literally took the stars and the planets and dialed them in however you wanted
Right.
it to be, right? And boom, there's the snapshot of the moment that you entered this dimension. And where the hell did you come from? Literally, you came from the womb of a stargate, which is the energy of like the ovary and the sperm blending beautifully and coming together and then creating what? A soul, a thinking sentient creature out of what? The stargate. The stargate is the divine feminine, right? So then boom, you're just born and you got like a cord. What the heck is going on? And then blam, welcome to the aquarium. Welcome to the aquarium. But don't forget, you don't have to look at the aquarium from the inside. You could look at the aquarium from the outside and consider when you're arguing about things in the aquarium that the aquarium is ran by a mean person who employs an underpaid worker that has a ponytail, and that underpaid worker has his whole life, and he just comes and checks on the fish tanks. But you live in one of those fish tanks and you gonna argue? Come on, stop. Hey, that's the end of the show, G.
Yeah. All right, shit. It's a good enough place to end as any.
So Diction Uno on every platform.
Yeah, also, if you hit me on my DMs and any of this stuff, I'm selling these coffins that got like a demon in it and some other cool little trinkets that are about like beating your own demons, but it has a thumb drive with my entire catalog of music to this point. It's like 4 or 5 projects, and then there's like a bunch of unreleased tracks on there. It also comes with a shirt. They're really high quality shirts. If you see my logo online at all, it has that on that. But I'm selling a merch pack where you get that coffin with all that plus the shirt for $50. I'm also selling thumb drives by themselves with my entire catalog plus like 2 projects of unreleased shit for $15 a piece. And then I'm selling Diction Uno shirts by themselves for $25 a piece. All free shipping or free delivery within the Portland Metro. So, you know, if you're trying to get some stocking stuffers or whatever the fuck, holler at your boy.
Yeah, that was basically like a slap chop ad.
Oh shit! Okay, right.
Right there. Hey,
shit.
Wow. Right? Yeah. Okay. Remember this, guys. If I don't say 5,000 G before I sign out, then either the monkeys with herpes, the cops, or the aliens got our phone. All right, then. Thanks to our guest, Diction Uno. Tomorrow is Thursday. We'll be back here with Josh Larson and probably a couple other special guests, but definitely Josh Larson. Love to the family in Kansas City at the 5. All right, G. Audi 5,000, G.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight.